everybody, it's Stephanie. I'm so excited. This is my first Booktube video, and I thought, what better time to make my first Booktube video than at the start of the O.W.L's Readathon, which I am so excited about. This is the first time that I'm going to be participating, and I've been just geeking out about it for since it was announced. If you don't know anything about the O.W.L's Magical Readathon, I will put all of the information down below. It is hosted by Book Roast, and I am in awe of the amount of detail that has gone into this. I'm truly just touched that there are such nerds out there. I'm also kind of overdoing it, I think, a little bit. I don't know if I'm challenging myself or if I'm just setting myself up for failure, but we'll find out later. For my career, I chose the Hogwarts professor, and I'm going to be a herbology professor. So in order to be a Hogwarts professor, I need to pass 7 O.W.Ls, and I really liked this career because the mandatory 2 prompts are Defense Against the Dark Arts and the subject I wish to teach, which is herbology, and then the 5 other subjects I get to pick. So, yeah, I like that. Something that did bum me out about this was that I don't have a ton of physical copies. I get all of my books from the library, and so that means that a good chunk of my TBR are ebooks, and I would much prefer to have the physical copy, but I'm just gonna work with what I've got, okay? Do what I can. Another little issue I have is that I am not a planner. I don't make TBRs at the beginning of the month. So right now I've got 7 books that I'm supposed to read, and by the middle of the month I might not want to read them, so we'll see what happens. So my first mandatory class is Defense Against the Dark Arts, and the prompt for that is a book set at the sea or the coast. For this, I have decided on The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. I don't know anything about any of the books that I have down here. If I hear a book that I might like, I'll put it on my TBR, and then I never read the synopsis again. And that keeps it interesting. If you hear something in the background, that's my bird taking a bath. My second mandatory class is the subject I wish to teach, which is herbology, and the prompt for that is a title that starts with M. For this, I will be reading Miracle Creek by Angie Kim. Another issue with this is that I don't know how long these books are, because I have them in ebook, and I didn't bother to look at the page count on Goodreads, so I'm just kind of fingers crossed that these aren't all huge books. Now I'm starting off with all of the subjects that I got to choose. So I worked with prompts that kind of inspired me. The first class of my choice that I'm going to take is Charms, which was to read a book with a white or mostly white cover. For this prompt, I chose 6 Stories by Matt Wesolowski. Matt Wesolowski. I figured since this was a mostly white cover from what I can tell, this would be fine. The second class I chose was Potions. Hey, Sadie. Hey, Sadie. Please don't do that. The second class that I chose was Potions, which was to read a book that was 150 pages or less. And I've picked 2 books here so that I can just pick whichever one I'm feeling the most. The first possible book is The Test by Sylvan Naval, and the second is A House at the Bottom of the Lake by Josh Bellerman. Both of these books have been on my TBR for a good time, and so I'm glad that they're both 150 pages or less. Okay, can you sit? Sadie, what are you gonna be reading? This is Sadie. What are you gonna be reading, honey? She's hurt. She doesn't know how to read. Okay. The third class that I chose was Astronomy. And for this class, you need to read a book when it's mostly dark outside. So for this, I'm going to read Louise Doughty's Platform 7. And this will also overlap with the Literally Dead book club, which is run by Books and Lala, and Drinking by My Shelf is the co-host this month or next month. So I don't know, is that cheating? Because if yeah, then I'm cheating. Hopefully it's a little bit spooky so that when I'm reading it at night I can properly freak myself out. The fourth book that I'm going to be reading is for arithmancy, which was to read a book outside of your favorite genre. My favorite genre is thrillers, so I'm going to be reading The Bromance Book Club by Lyssa Kay Adams. I'm excited for this one. This is a story about a bunch of guys who get together and read like romance books in order to help get their marriages back on track or keep the love alive. So I've heard it's like really funny and goofy and fun, so I'm excited for that one. And now, the moment that I've been waiting for. I was really excited for this, and now I'm just nervous. The fifth class that I chose was divination. And for divination, you're supposed to assign numbers to your TBR and then let a random number generator just pick for you. So instead of doing that, I did it the long-winded way, as I always do. And I picked 20 books for my TBR and put them all in here. I put a lot that I had managed to grab from the library before it closed off. So some books in there include Dig by A.S. King, Starry Eyes by Jen Bennett, Readathon Salt to the Sea, Emma Lord's Tweet Cute, Stephen King's The Institute, and I threw this in as a joke. I even put Stephen King's It in here. I thought it would be funny if I picked it out and like ruined my life. So let's see what happens. I'm so scared. I got one. I'm scared. The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. Okay, I didn't want to read that. This is kind of like I think a harder hitting contemporary. I don't know, it wouldn't have been my top pick, but we'll try it out. Well, those are all my books I'm reading. Is anybody out there actually reading it? Because, I don't know, I kind of wish I had picked it out just to mess my life up. Are you guys participating in the Owls Readathon? Let me know what you'll be reading, or if we're reading any of the same things, because I would love to know. And I'd love to know what career you're taking a part in. It was so hard to choose. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.